Crook-Pick. I'm from Harrisville, Rhode Island, and as you've heard from the residents of this town, it's very clear to the board as well that this project is not being promoted or accepted very well. Kathy Sherman read the mission statement of the Rhode Island Department of Health. It is your obligation to prevent disease and protect and promote the health and safety of the people of Rhode Island. How can you factually approve this proposal from Invenergy's power plant is not a health risk to the people of Burrillville in Rhode Island? I don't think you can. The air quality, the exposure to pollutants, noise, the potential recontamination from MTBE tainted water. It's ridiculous. The air quality alone that you wrote in the report is rather dated. It doesn't take into effect everything that is going to be happening to us. We have 2 power plants here. We will be sitting in the middle of a 4.5-mile radius of 2 massive power plants. We have Ocean State Power, which I live 1.5 miles from, and now I'll have this one 4.5 miles away. I personally have respiratory issues. I spent 7 years of my life traveling back and forth to Zambarano Hospital because I had tuberculosis. I was diagnosed with asthma when I moved to Burrillville. I fear that it will only get worse if this power plant is built. It's a severe hazard to my health. I am already using inhalers and steroids, and quite frankly, if this goes in, I think I would, like a lot of residents, we will move. And that will create another issue for Rhode Island because you will not have the income or the residents to pay the taxes that you need to keep the state going. I remind you that you have an obligation to protect the residents of Rhode Island and Burrillville. You must be firm in your advisory opinion. If this proposed facility can potentially harm one person of the state or this town, you must oppose it. And from your draft, there are many reasons why you should oppose it. I'm going to read you one fact when I close. Article 1, Section 2 of the Rhode Island Constitution states, laws for the good of the whole, burdens to be equally distributed. All free governments are instituted for the protection, safety, and happiness of the people. All laws, therefore, should be made for the good of the whole, and the burdens of the state ought to be fairly distributed among its citizens. Burrillville is already bearing more of the burden than any other part of the state. That said, this plant is not a good idea. It's not needed for Burrillville or Rhode Island. Thank you.